AskReddit by Captain Fantasy. What's one time you accidentally caused drama in your entire family? I reported my brother to senior services for hitting my elderly mother. Good for you. To hell with anyone who says otherwise. My child died and you would not believe the fact I had to put my own case forward for keeping my own child ashes. I'm so sorry, that must have been horrible. I was 7 reading through my dad's text with my mom. They had just divorced. They were arguing and he said, "That's why isn't my actual son, you whore." I mentioned it to my parents and hell broke out. My brother still has no idea. That's a tough way to find that out. I'm sorry. I hope you didn't internalize that or any other element of your parents' dynamic. My parents have a ranch and sold some land to a couple of my uncles and they're all neighbors now. Well, one of my uncles called the sheriff on me and my friends for shooting guns on my parents' property. Sheriff shows up, sees that we're being safe and goes over to my uncle's property and chews him out for wasting his time. The next day, he comes over and asks if we can bring our tractor and help with his truck that was stuck on mud. I said call the sheriff. He blows up the family chat and my mom sees it and starts defending me and saying he can't talk about me like that. The rest of the family is pretty much divided, with some saying I'm disrespectful and the others say it's karma for snitching. This went on for a while and to finish it off, my mom named the group chat the tractor and it's still that to this day. He chose the most hostile and cowardly way to address the shooting issue and immediately tries to ask you for a major favor. That dude sucks. Deleted. Did you have his wallet? What happened with the girlfriend? When I was 8, my mom asked about how her new dress looked. I didn't bother even looking. I instinctively said it looked good. She cried to my dad that I did not respect her. Later on my dad told just look next time and unless she is going to embarrass herself tell her it looks good. OMG to be so offended by an 8 years old. Hope you guys are okay now. I'm sure 16 must have been a fun period for her. I moved 4 hours away lol. Still in the same state, just on the other side. You would think I killed someone the way they all acted and have treated me since. I'm 32 with a full-time job, paid off car, no debts outside of student loans. I don't even have a credit card. All my bills are paid on time every time. But I moved. Therefore I am the worst person in the family lol. How dare you? You're a bar and denying the family. Yeah, I got some of that too. After joining the US Army she even pestered the training command about how I was certainly going to fail, and they should just send him back home to his family where he belongs. She did that to me again when I arrived at my first duty station. I did so many push-ups because of that crazy woman. We were all sitting in the hospital room with my grandfather, waiting for him to pass. I looked at the clock on the wall and it showed 230 am, so I said closing time. You don't have to go home but you can't stay here, and he takes one more breath and dies. Somehow I killed him or something. NGL that's a fabulous outwrote her life. I'm sorry nobody else found the humor in the situation. I was hammered at a family wedding and somehow was the only one who caught my cousin's wife drinking sparkling water instead of vodka soda. Somehow guessed she was pregnant and told everyone. She was only 1 month pregnant and had just found out. I was on the apology train the next day for sure. I think that's one of those things that are forgiven if everything goes well and the baby is healthy. If not, oof. Not me but my dad. My dad was engaged to this lady for 11 years and he broke off the engagement to get married to my mom. I feel yeah. My parents were both married and having an affair with each other and then blew those up and had me. I have 5 older siblings between their 2 marriages. It kinda hurts when Reddit is all fuck that affair baby and damp, you don't owe them shit. My entire relationship with my siblings is because my father's first wife believed her children deserved a relationship with their sister even if how I came to be was controversial. I decided to be brave and tell my immediate family about my childhood essay, which led to extended family being told, which I didn't mind. Thought it would make everybody rally around me to help, but no, they decided to be super selfish and make it about them and how it looked to other people what a family member had done and what I'd been through. Pretty much divided up my family and now I don't talk to either of them or their wives and can't stand the mere thought of them. Sending you hugs. Deleted. Did you wait until everyone was grown up to admit it? Or do they still have no idea it was you? I tried to kill myself. Caused a lot of drama. Oops. I'm sorry. How are you doing now? My sister got my 6-year-old a present she didn't really like. A doll from a movie she only watched once, and she doesn't even play with dolls. She said thank you anyway, but my sister could tell she was kind of upset and kept pushing and prodding my daughter. Then it turned into I don't how to parent because my daughter wasn't happy. She tried to turn everyone against me and I just wanted to get my overtired and overstimulated kids home. It turned into a week-long argument. I don't go to family functions anymore. I showed up to my Baptist grandmother's funeral in a top that showed I had tattoos. I genuinely forgot how much drama that would cause. I was probably 6 or so years old when this happened. We were at a large family gathering for Thanksgiving and the adults were talking about drinking and driving. Young innocent me had no idea what they were actually talking about and chimed in that my mom drinks and drives all of the time. I didn't know soda and whatnot didn't count. I used to get confused and couldn't remember if it was drinking and driving or eating and driving that was illegal. One day, my mom was eating a banana while driving, and I told her she was breaking the law. When I unfriended my stepdad on Facebook and my mother got pissed and it created this whole stupid thing. That fed my decision to delete my profile completely years later. Absolutely hate the notion that you need to be connected to family on socials just because they are there. People take Facebook way too seriously. My husband and I moved from CA to MN for better opportunities. His sister accused him of dumping FHE responsibility of caring for his parents, who were perfectly healthy at the time, on her. She has always been a bitter, selfish person, but this caused the family to gang up against him and they stole his inheritance when his parents did eventually die. It wasn't much, mostly sentimental things. We've been no contact for ages now. Good riddance Imo, but I know it hurt my husband. Whenever I'd point out my sister was the golden child and I was the scapegoat, my mom would rush to my sister's defense and insult and berate me non-stop till I took it back. My parents have a complicated relationship with my brother. It's actually more parasitic, but we won't talk about that. I was hanging out at my cool aunt's house with my parents and a few other extended family members. My mom kept talking about all this stuff she scheduled with my sister-in-law, and how she always cancels or won't commit to anything. I blurted out, I hate to break it to you, but she doesn't like you that much. Aunt says let me get another drink. My mom was not happy, but the passive-aggressive hate was so obvious. Stuff like going out to eat, and having my brother pick out the place which will be super crowded so we have to eat at a separate table on the other side of the restaurant but still pay. Ha ha ha. When my dog fought my niece's dog, and the entire family reunion went to hell. One time, I accidentally forwarded an email to my entire family that was meant for a friend. The email contained some candid remarks about a family gathering we had just attended, including some not so flattering opinions about certain relatives. Needless to say, it caused quite a stir and led to some awkward conversations and hurt feelings within the family. It taught me the importance of double checking recipients before hitting send on any message. My aunt and my mom had a feud going on. Basically, cousin got married during COVID and didn't invite everyone. Obviously, and my mom was very offended. Anyway, at my grandparents' anniversary dinner a year later I was talking to my aunt because she asked me about school. My mom acted like a brat the whole dinner for my grandparents' anniversary. Well, the next day my mom blew up on me for talking to my aunt when she initiated the conversation. My dad saw the whole thing go down and took my side, and everyone else took my side. Honestly, it was nice for people to take my side. I was doing something with my nieces and I hurt myself and said bitch under my breath. My younger niece told my brother and his wife I called her a bitch. My brother goes absolutely off and tells my mother and father as well. Him and his wife berated me over the phone and everything. It was awful. Things are fine now, but honestly it took a couple of years for them to actually believe me. They didn't let me do much with their kids. Always made me wonder if my niece totally lied and said other things as well, or what happened. I'm like, no, I didn't call your 7-year-old a bitch. Why would I do that? It's never an accident with me. Me and you both.